Good morning, students of class 9. Welcome back to the online classes now. Today we'll do poem in English. The title of the poem is A Legend of Northern Land. Let's look at the title of the poem. A legend. What is called a legend? Legend is a story that is passed from one generation to another generation. Usually it is not a written story. It is a story which is told orally from one generation to another generation. That is called a legend. A legend of Northern Land. So we'll go through this poem, and the author or the poet, it is written by Poe Carey. So here is the name of a poet. Now I have written over here 3 stanzas. There are many stanzas. First we'll do 3 stanzas. Third. Let me read out, then I'll explain one by one. Away, away in the northern land, where the hours of the day are few, and the nights are so long in winter that they cannot sleep them through. What does this mean? This means that away, away in the northern land means very far away towards the North Pole, that is towards the northern latitudes, where the hours of the day are few. Means as you move towards the northern side, move towards the north latitudes, the days are shorter and shorter and shorter, and nights become longer and longer and longer, especially during the winter time, because it is right on top of the North Pole, towards the North Pole. So where the hours of the day are few, you know that North Pole and South Pole experiences 6 months of days and 6 months of nights. So here near these areas, near the North Pole, where the hours of the day are very few, especially in winter, near winter, and the nights are so long, in winter, that they means people living there in those areas cannot sleep them through. They cannot sleep throughout the night, because when they wake up it is still night. Whereas in the other parts around the world they have day, but in those areas still it is night. So they get up regularly, and when it is still night they get up and they do their usual activities. So this is the legend, a story told from one generation to another generation. So this is a story written in poems by the writer. Number 2, second stanza, where they harness the swift reindeer. You see, towards the northern side, where it snows, you'll find reindeers, and the people living there, especially the Eskimos and those people who live near the higher latitudes, they harness. Harness means to use, take out and use. They harness the swift reindeer, means they keep reindeer as their means of transport. So they take out reindeer from their shed and tie them to the sledges. Sledges means a cart without wheels. Especially it is used in the snowy areas. It doesn't need the wheel because the snow is slippery and the sledges just slide over the snow, and the sledges are pulled by the reindeer. So where they take out the swift reindeer, they tied it to the sledges when it snows. When it snows, they use sledges for transportation. And the children over there look like bear cubs. In those areas towards the higher latitudes or near the North Pole, this type of clothes doesn't work. You need to have thick fur coats, thick leather fur coats with the hood full of hair and The children over there, they wear these fur coats and they look like bear cubs. Their coats are full of hair. It's an animal leather, the leather or the animal hide, made of animal hide, where the children look like bear cubs with their small face and full of hair. So, and the children look like bear cubs. It is a description about those areas, about the people, about the land, and what they do. And the children look like bear cubs in their funny means it looks very funny, but furry means having full of hair. That's called fur. Furry clothes means leather coats, leather pants, leather boots, even the gloves, leather gloves, and they could see the small face only because it is covered with fur and hood. So that is the second one. And third stanza, they tell them a curious story. They means their parents, their grandfathers, grandmothers, tell those children a curious story. Curious means very strange story. Each and every child knows the stories, this story, because it has been told to them by their grandfathers, by their parents. The people over there tell those children a curious story, a very strange story. I don't believe it's true. Apostrophe T-I-S, it's a short form, especially uses in poet uses this type of shortened form of the word in the poem. I don't believe, I means the writer. Writer says to us, I don't believe that the story is true. I don't believe it's true. And yet, but still, you may learn a lesson. Though the story may not be true, but you will still learn a lesson from that poem, from that story which is told to those children by their parents and grandparents. Yet, you may learn a lesson from that story. If I tell you the tale to you, tale means a story. If I tell you the story in poems, you will read and learn a lesson. What happens when you are too greedy? This is actually a poem about an old woman who angered a saint. The name of the saint is Saint Peter. Saint Peter got very angry because the woman showed her greediness. She was very, very greedy, and the saint, the holy man, Saint Peter or the holy man, he got very angry. And what happened to that? What will be the consequences? What are the consequences? Yeah, what is the consequence of her greed? So now we'll learn a lesson. And wait, that's why it is said, and yet you may learn a lesson if I tell you the tale. So tomorrow we'll do another 3 and we can carry on. There are so many stanzas are there. So now here I have written the meaning over here. Harness means take out or use. Swift means quick. Sledges means a cart without wheels. Especially the people use in the areas where it snows too much. So furry, F-U-R-R-Y, furry means having a lot of hair. That's called fur, F-U-R, fur. The hair of an animal is called a fur. So curious means very strange. Yet, still, tale, story about fairies. Fairy tales means story about fairies. That's called a tale. So, story, tale, it's a same thing. Story is written. Tale, it's about imaginary, about fairies. And legend means an orally spoken or orally told by other people. And it is passed from one generation to another generation. That's called a legend. Some kind of story that is told orally. So now, tale, story and legend, practically similar, but the way in which they are produced or the way in which it is mentioned, the names are different. Legend, tale and story. So now here that's all. Now in our next class we'll do another 3 stanza. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching the video. Stay safe and carry on your studies at home regularly. Go through the book regularly. So that's all for today.